Playing EVE Online required us to choose one of the 4 major empires. Let's highlight all differences between these 4 empires and put everything in one page so we can choose. Hey everyone, I am Maxte. Welcome to EVE Online How to Choose an Empire. There are significant differences between the 4 major empires in terms of how they are approaching things, and it's a very good idea to play with the empire that suits you, your gameplay style. Let's proceed. And here we are. We have our 4 major empires: Amarr, Caldari, Gallente and Minmatar, and we will discuss about first of all about government and historical background, because it's very important to understand why some of these empires can never be friends. After that, we will continue with empire space, trade and positioning to see where each empire is located compared with the others. We will have after that ship design, combat philosophy, main and secondary weapon systems, and defense approach. Based on everything that we have already discussed, we will have some recommended activities for each of the 4 major empires, and we will conclude with something that is unique, something that no other empire have it, but only one empire has it, right? And at the end we will have some funny memes. You will see that all those memes are really based on what we have already discussed. Let's start with government and historical background. So we have Amarr, which is a theocratic empire led by an emperor. They are the oldest entity and they are known for conquest and enslavement. Next we have Caldari, which is a corporate state controlled by mega corporations. They were forming after breaking away from the Gallente. That leads us to Gallente, which is a democratic federation with an elected president, with political parties and senators and everything else. They are originated from Earth colonies and they are advocating for democracy. Next we have Minmatar, which is a tribal republic governed by tribal chiefs. They were once enslaved by the Amarr, but now they are free, rebuilding and determined to remove Amarr's threat from the galaxy once and forever. There is something very important to say in here. Please do not consider for any moment that one of the factions is the evil empire and the others are the advocates for democracy, or one faction like Caldari is the super technological advanced one and Minmatar are just the primitive tribes. No, it's not like that. Each faction has its own fair share of pros and cons. Everything is put in balance and it's okay to play with any of the 4 major empires. Let's move to empire space, trade and positioning. Amarr has the largest territory among the 4 empires. There are opulent and grandiose space stations reflecting the empire's wealth and religious significance. The player population density in Amarr space is low, and Amarr space is also the 2nd largest hub for trading and commerce. Caldari space is densely populated, with a heavy presence of corporate structures and high security systems. It features numerous high-tech stations and military installations that underline the Caldari state's emphasis on corporate efficiency and defense. Caldari space is known for its robust economy and active market activities. Jita is the largest trade center in New Eden. Gallente space is known for its cultural diversity and vibrant environments, with a moderate player population density. The systems are filled with lush, colorful stations and bustling trade hubs that reflects the Federation emphasis on freedom and prosperity. The Gallente Federation systems are a hotspot for creative enterprises, political activities, and social interactions, and it is located within a decent range from Jita. Minmatar space is characterized by its rugged and often harsh environment, reflecting the resilience and tenacity of its people. The player population density is lower compared to Caldari and Gallente space, but it features a tightly knit community of players. The systems in Minmatar space often have a raw, utilitarian aesthetic with tribal influences. They have a perfect location just between Amarr and Caldari. Next we have ship design. Amarr ships feature an imperial and imposing aesthetic characterized by the golden hulls, intricate designs, and grand cathedral-like structures. These vessels often show an aura of divine authority and power, with smooth, elongated, but at the same time kind of stocky shapes and symmetrical patterns that reflect the Amarr Empire's focus on tradition, religious symbolism, and dominance. Caldari ships are designed with a pragmatic and militaristic approach, emphasizing function over form. Their aesthetics are industrial and utilitarian, with angular lines, dark metallic tones, and a rugged, no-nonsense appearance. These ships often feature prominent shell generators and missile launchers, highlighting their emphasis on advanced technology and warfare. Caldari vessels are built to project corporate strength and efficiency. Galente ships showcase a modern, sleek, and artistic design, often featuring smooth curves, asymmetrical forms, and vibrant colors. Their aesthetic reflects the Galente Federation's values of freedom, creativity, and technological innovation. These ships frequently incorporate advanced drone systems and hybrid weaponry with a focus on versatility and adaptability. The design ethos balances beauty and functionality, making Galente ships both visually striking and highly effective in combat. Minmatar ships are characterized by their rugged utilitarian appearance, often resembling cobbled-together structures, some people are saying flying scaffoldings, sometimes with exposed frameworks and reinforced plating. The design reflects their history of resilience with a focus on speed, agility, and adaptability. The Minmatar vessels often have asymmetrical shapes and a weathered battle-scarred look, incorporating tribal motifs and practical modifications that emphasize their ability to endure and thrive in harsh conditions. Next, let's move to combat philosophy. This is an area where the differences between the four factions are really striking. So Amarr combat philosophy focuses on using heavily armored ships equipped with powerful energy turrets or lasers that can deliver high damage at various ranges. Their ships are built to withstand significant damage with strong armor and active tanking capabilities. The emphasis is on sustaining prolonged engagements, outlasting opponents through sheer durability, and applying consistent high DPS with their laser weaponry. Caldari combat philosophy revolves around long-range engagement and precision strikes. Their missile systems offer flexibility in damage types and excellent range, allowing them to engage enemy from a safe distance. Additionally, Caldari ships excel in electronic warfare. The focus is on maintaining range, controlling the battlefield through electronic superiority, and delivering precise, sustained damage. Galente combat philosophy emphasizes versatility and close-range combat prowess. Their hybrid turrets, blasters, and railguns offer options for both short and long-range engagements, with a preference for high-damage blasters in close quarters. Galente ships are also renowned for their drone capabilities, adding another layer of versatility. The focus is on getting in close to unleash powerful high DPS attacks while leveraging drones for additional damage and support roles. Minmatar combat philosophy prioritizes speed and agility, allowing their ships to outmaneuver opponents and strike quickly. Their projectile turrets, autocannons, and artillery offer various damage types and adaptability in combat. Minmatar ships often utilize hit-and-run tactics, relying on their superior speed and evasiveness to avoid sustained engagements. The focus is on guerrilla-style warfare, using mobility to dictate the terms of battle and exploiting weaknesses with rapid, high-impact strikes. Next part is main and secondary weapons. Amarr Empire relies on lasers or energy turrets as the main offensive weapons. These weapons are known for their high damage output and excellent range. They consume capacitor energy to fire and typically deal EM and thermal damage. Secondary weapons are drones. While not as heavily reliant on drones as the Galente, MR ships often have drone bases that can deploy drones for additional damage and versatility in combat. Main offensive weapons for Caldari state are the missiles. Caldari ships excel with missile systems that offer a variety of damage types and long-range capabilities. Caldari ships also use hybrid turrets, which come in the form of railguns for long range and blasters for short range. These turrets deal kinetic and thermal damage. Galente ships predominantly use hybrid turrets, favoring blasters for close-range, high-damage encounters and railguns for long-range engagements. These weapons deal kinetic and thermal damage. Also, as the first main offensive weapons, Galente ships are renowned for their extensive use of drones, offering a wide range of drones capabilities for offense, defense, and utility. Drones can deal various damage types depending on the drones used. Minmatar ships primarily use projectile turrets, which include autocannons for short range and rapid fire, and artillery cannons for long range, high alpha strike. These turrets deal a mix of damage types, including explosive and kinetic. As secondary weapons, Minmatar ships can use pretty much everything, including missiles and drones, providing versatile damage options and flexibility. There are also important differences between the four major factions when it comes to defense. While MR prefer armor-based, which provide a sheer endurance, Caldari is using a shield-based stay-at-range philosophy. After that, we have Galente with armor-based ships, but with a balance between offense and defense. And we have Minmatar with low shield, low armor tanking, but great offensive capabilities. And also they are relying on speed and evasion. For each of the four empires, we can have, of course, arguably some recommended activities. For example, MR ships are very good for mission running, given the sheer defense capabilities. Also, mining and industry are options based on the vast space that the MR empire has, and also faction warfare. Let's teach those Minmatar tribals a lesson, shall we? Caldari space is very good for market trading. Of course, to sustain the market, we will need industry and mission running. Galente ships are very good for mission running. Also, exploration is an option in Galente space, and also faction warfare, given the fact that Galente ships are very good in close combat situations. And Minmatar ships are very good for small-scale PvP or ganking. And also Minmatar space is very good for exploration and planetary exploration. Now let's move to something that is unique for each of the four empires. So for the MR we have the Avatar Titan class ship, arguably of course one of the most iconic ships in EVE Online. For Caldari we have Jita, which is the main trading center in the game. For Galente, we have Sisters of Eve Epic Art, which is a succession of missions that every single player in EVE Online needs to do it at least once. And for Minmatar, we have ganking. Ganking is the definitory trait for Minmatar ships and also for the Minmatar space. Let's conclude here with some funny memes, of course, based on everything that we have already discussed. Let's do it. When in doubt, laser everything. Praise be the Emperor and my 20% armor resist buff. 2 more shots and I'm out of cap. Armor? What exactly is an armor? Just made a billion Misc in 5 minutes. Jita life. Missiles launched. Tea time now. We embrace everyone. Just don't touch my drones. Fly with style. Space fashion is the key. Closer. Closer. Good. Blasters means life. Built with rust and love, and maybe some duct tape. Don't buy, kill and salvage. I am not guerrilla, I am them. Alright guys, just a few more words before we conclude. Even if you have started with one particular empire, it's very easy to switch to another empire, especially at the beginning of the game, but also later in the game it's perfectly doable. Also, you need to know that there is okay to move from one empire space to another empire space. There will be no repercussions for doing so, right? So it's perfectly okay to move in high sec, I mean, to move from one empire to another. Also, it's perfectly okay to use the ships from one empire in another empire space. For example, let's say you are starting, let's say, Galente. It's perfectly okay to use Amarr ships, Caldari ships or Minmatar ships, and it's perfectly okay to move in high sec in any of the other empire space. What really matters is to adapt everything to your gameplay. For example, if you like to get in close combats and have an armor base, that means Amarr and Galente might be the solution for you. If you prefer to stay at a safe distance and apply damage from there, that's Caldari. And if you prefer to get in, apply one shot or two shots, run away, move out, that's Minmatar for you. With that in mind, best of luck of choosing the right faction for you, and thank you for reaching this point. See you in the next one, don't miss it. All of our tutorials are meant to be seen in sequence, be sure you have checked on that. Before we go, please give us a thumbs up, it's free. Grow with the channel, hit that subscribe button and activate notification bell now. Share and always recommend Maxte in your social media and to your friends. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next one.